Hey Bikes, I'm Sophia Bradley with the Brian High Norseman podcast. Today I'm here with math teacher Miss Bretta Winters. Just to start off, where did you go to college?
I went to Texas A&M University.
What was your major?
I majored in aerospace engineering and I got a minor in mathematics.
Right, and why did you pick that field of study?
I grew up watching a lot of sci-fi shows, especially Star Trek, and I really liked space and earth science and that kind of stuff. So I was really interested in either becoming an astronaut or working in the space industry when I was growing up.
What made you decide to switch from being an engineer to a teacher?
That one's kind of a big question. During my senior year at Texas A&M, I just really felt like my heart wasn't in engineering anymore. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed my organization stuff that I worked in. We got to build some planes, like remote control airplanes, and design some really cool stuff. But it always felt like more as a hobby than an actual thing that I could see myself doing for the rest of my life. But while I was in college, I was tutoring math on the side. I was working at a place called Mathnasium that some of y'all probably heard about. And I just really fell in love with teaching. Like I could really see myself doing that the rest of my life. I loved those moments when I was working with my students and they had those aha moments. I just really felt like God was leading me that way, that was my best way to be able to help people and use the knowledge that I had learned from my degree and help encourage people to either like math if they've never liked it before, or at least understand it if it was hard. But for people that were really interested, also give them that avenue of conversation to tell them, these are different ways you could take math in life, and there's so many opportunities out there for you, and to help kind of expose them to that. So,
Where and how many years have you taught?
This is currently my third year teaching. The previous 2 years I was teaching at Navasota High School, where I taught a few different math classes, and I also did an engineering course that they have there.
What skills did you learn that helped with your teaching career?
I think the biggest one was learning to think outside the box. That's a big part of engineering, is solving problems, critical thinking, those kinds of things that we got to explore what's going on behind the math. And I think that helps me have better explanations to my students when I'm teaching them math for the first time, because I can kind of explain a little more of what's going on, why we do things a certain way. But I'm also a little better equipped to answer the question of when am I ever going to use this in real life? Because I've got lots of answers for that question now. So,
What do you enjoy most about teaching?
I love interacting with my students. My relationships with my students are definitely my top priority. If things come up in class, we will put the lesson aside for a moment and just talk about life if we need to talk about life. I love just catching up with them every day, talking about what's going on outside of school, and then helping bring those relationships into actually, talking about math and whatever it is that we have to cover that day.
And what do you enjoy least about teaching?
I think probably just all of the work we have to do outside of school. I know students don't really see that a whole lot, but it takes time to grade things. It takes time to make lessons. It takes time to come up with ideas of how to present material. So I think just how much time it takes outside of the school day kind of wears me down, and that can sometimes take an effect on my interactions with them in the class. If I'm more tired or slightly more stressed, then we're not going to have as fun of a class. So that's probably my least favorite.
Anything else you would like to add or would tell a student interested in pursuing a career in math?
I would just tell them to go for it. You never know what you actually are going to want to do until you try it. When I started at A&M, I absolutely thought I was going to be an engineer. I saw myself doing that the rest of my life. And once I got into it, that's when things changed, because I learned more about myself. So even if you're not 100% sold on something, go after it, try it out. And there's lots of opportunities for people who are interested in math. Math is everywhere around us. Even if you get a math degree, it doesn't mean you're stuck to a math career, because a lot of college in any field of study just teaches you how to think about things in ways you never have before. So whatever your interests are, go after them. Always try. You never know until you do.
All right, thank you so much for joining us today.
No problem.